Hi, today we're going to be talking about the dual speed brushless framing nail gun from DeWalt. So this is the, let me make sure I get the right one here. It's the DCN692. So they made a couple different versions of this one. So if you have the 691, that one doesn't have the dual speed. So this one has dual speed, basically meaning that you can save a little battery life by turning it up and down. I leave it on high because I don't do enough framing with this that I care about having to switch out a battery once every day even. This runs on your standard 30-degree clipped or full offset heads. So your pass load, your Senko nails all fit in this. It will do all the way up to a 3.5-inch nail down to a 2-inch nail. I put the 1.5 in these. I don't really like it for the 1.5. It tends to jam up. So it says 2-inch. I would stick to that. So these run on only the 20-volt max battery. What I mean by only is this will take their flex volts, all their different batteries, but it runs on just a battery. No cartridges. So if you've had the pass load guns and you've had some of the other guns out there, they have a cartridge of propane or butane, whatever they're running, that actually stinks when you hit the guns, and they cycle that air through there as you're going. The other problem they have is they are not able to bump fire, so as you hold down the trigger and bump fire. So one of the things that this does is it does do bump fire. It tends to be a little heavier than the pass load guns and some of the other gas powered guns, as you're going to call it. You're going to have an adjustable thumb screw switch up here. It does come with a cover to take off for your tip. It has a fairly aggressive tip if you're going to be doing any side angling or anything else. So one thing that, so it comes in I'm not even going to be able to say that. Bump fire or one at a time. So go ahead, you push it down, you hear it come out to full power, pull the trigger, it's going to go ahead and fire. If you need to adjust it at that point, go ahead and adjust. Now, if you need to, go ahead and pop it over to your bump fire setting. When you pull the trigger, then it turns on. And every time you hit, and it sinks them, in my opinion, every single time, with regular size nails up to about 3-inch. I don't do a lot of 3.5-inch nails, so in my opinion, it works just fine for the average nail, 3 to 2 3/8 nails. These are 2 3/8, nails. I also use a ring shank nail. Definitely well worth it. I do like this a lot better than the 21-degree nails because they're paper coated. You notice I don't have little plastic clips flying all over the place that hit me in the face. Big fan of the 30-degree nails. Also comes with a rafter hook. They can be swung either way. Kind of a nice feature. The one thing I do not like is how it is loaded. You've got to pull back, lock it in place, pull your nails out. If you're switching nails, drop your nails back in and release it. I wish they just had a bypass system. Not the end of the world though. Half the nail guns out there still use a lock back, and release system. So definitely not a, complete killer. Most of my tools I carry in my truck are going to be in Milwaukee. So buying this tool was one of the very first tools I bought from DeWalt in their 20-volt section. I bought some of their other ones since then, their jigsaw, their chop saw, and some of the others. Well worth it. If you bought just this one tool, it would be worth it. So definitely something to think about. Being dual speed, being able to shoot the larger nails, smaller nails, and it does have this anti-jam feature. So if you do have a jam, I've yet to have a jam. Obviously, I've not used it a ton. I've used it, I'm not framing with it every day, and I don't think it's meant for that. But for doing little piece work or maybe building a shed, something like that, definitely doable for that. We used it the other day to build a doghouse. Definitely overkill, if even for that. But I didn't have to pull out a generator and an air compressor and all these other things. It tends to be a little on the heavy side, in my opinion, for a battery-powered tool. It does feel a little heavy when you clip it on your belt. Definitely something a little on the heavy side. But it's what it is. It's a battery-powered tool that you don't have to buy any gas cartridges. On the other hand, the battery lasts forever. I mean, we're getting there saying they're getting about anywhere from about 600 to 700 rounds, matter in the size of nail you're getting. And they say the more batteries you go through, the bigger that number will get, up to about that 700 range. You know, I have not had any problems running the batteries. I've never ran a battery completely through it because I switch it off and put it on some of the other tools I have. But I have not ever come to the point of where I'm charging these batteries every day. In fact, you know, I've never in a day had to charge a battery. So I've been very impressed with their size. This did come with a 4 amp hour battery. They sell for anywhere from about $350 to $400. You can find them on Craigslist and other places for the $250 plus range. You know, so keep an eye out for them. They'll probably go on sale. Overall, great tool. Definitely like it. And being able to bump fire any battery-powered non-compressor tool is amazing. Ramp it up. You know, I mean, you just can't beat that. You know, and being able to sit there and those hangers were my fault. I wasn't hitting it hard enough. But definitely a tool that I really, really like and has been something that I think anybody can use. We had some of the guys at work that have never even shot a nail gun before. We're electricians, so nail guns are not exactly something that everybody has. The biggest trick we had to get them to do was to compress, let it wind all the way up, and then pull the trigger. If you push, it won't fire until it's wound up enough to fire. So that's kind of a neat feature. You can't, you know, go too fast. So if you put it on, you know, and just pull the trigger immediately, it does take a second, but it will fire. So it's a little slower than a pneumatic gun. Definitely would not use it if I was going to frame all day long. But overall, as you can see, the ones I didn't screw up, every single one of them is countersunk just nice and without any problems whatsoever. So, as usual, have a great day, guys, and a definite recommend.